Winston Churchill, the war leader who shaped history. Welcome to a journey through history, where we unravel the life of one of the most influential leaders of the modern era. A man whose name echoes through time as a beacon of courage and determination. Let's step into the extraordinary world of Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill, one of history's most iconic figures, stands as a symbol of resilience, leadership, and unwavering determination. His life was a tapestry of triumphs, controversies, and challenges spread across the most pivotal moments of the 20th century. From his early years to his political rise, from the chaos of World War I to his heroic leadership during World War II, Churchill's story offers a lens into the complexities of leadership, human resolve, and the shaping of modern history. In this video, we will unfold the key chapters of Churchill's life, examining his early formation, the setbacks and comebacks that defined him, his critical decisions during wartime, and his lasting legacy. Let's embark on this journey through the life of Winston Churchill, peeling back the layers of a leader who lived at the heart of history. Winston Churchill was born on November 30th, 1874, into an aristocratic family. His father, Lord Randolph Churchill, was a prominent British politician, and his mother, Jenny Jerome, was an American socialite. Despite his privileged upbringing, young Winston faced many personal challenges. His relationship with his parents was strained. His father was harsh and distant, while his mother, though deeply admired by Churchill, was mostly absent. Educated at Harrow and later at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, Churchill's academic record was unremarkable. However, his early failure to excel masked his boundless ambition and drive. His military career and time as a war correspondent revealed these qualities. From Cuba to India, Sudan to South Africa, Churchill immersed himself in conflicts, not just as a soldier, but as a man eager to write, speak, and leave his mark. These formative experiences shaped his firm resolve and fueled his lifelong appetite for adventure and challenge. Churchill entered politics at the age of 25, winning his first seat in Parliament as a Conservative member in 1900. However, his independent streak soon led him to switch sides, joining the Liberal Party in 1904. Churchill was a rising star, energetic and reform-minded. His early political achievements included championing social reforms and modernizing the British Navy during his time as First Lord of the Admiralty. But his political career was soon tested during World War I. As First Lord of the Admiralty, Churchill strongly advocated for the Gallipoli Campaign, a naval and military offensive against the Ottoman Empire intended to secure a route to Russia. The campaign, however, ended in disaster. Poor planning and execution resulted in heavy casualties and little strategic gain, tarnishing Churchill's reputation and forcing his resignation. This experience marked Churchill's first major fall from grace. However, it also served as a powerful lesson in perseverance. Instead of retreating into obscurity, he joined the army and served on the Western Front. By engaging directly in the war he had sought to mold, Churchill revealed his determination to rebuild both his career and his credibility. The interwar years were a difficult and lonely time for Churchill. After rejoining the Conservative Party, he found himself out of step with prevailing political opinion. The 1920s and 1930s were dominated by leaders who preferred appeasement over confrontation, especially toward Nazi Germany. These so-called wilderness years were not merely a time of political isolation, but also a period of intense intellectual activity. Churchill wrote extensively, biographies, histories, and speeches that kept his ideas alive even as his political influence waned. His warnings about Germany, though largely ignored at the time, would later vindicate him as events unfolded. The wilderness years reveal another defining trait of Churchill: his ability to stand firm in the face of opposition. Though sidelined, he refused to compromise his convictions, laying the groundwork for his eventual return to prominence. In 1940, as Nazi Germany swept through Europe, Churchill's hour finally came. With Neville Chamberlain's policy of appeasement failing disastrously, Churchill was appointed Prime Minister. At a time when Britain stood seemingly alone against the Axis powers, Churchill took the reins with resolve and inspired the nation through his unwavering determination. His leadership during the Battle of Britain remains a defining moment. As Hitler's Luftwaffe sought to destroy Britain's air defenses ahead of an invasion, Churchill's coordination of the Royal Air Force proved crucial. His famous words, Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few, immortalized the bravery of the RAF pilots and the resilience of the British people. Churchill's wartime speeches became an essential weapon in the Allied arsenal. Phrases like, "We shall fight on the beaches," and "their finest hour" lifted morale and unified a nation under siege. He not only led strategically but also emotionally, becoming the voice of resistance to tyranny. Beyond his oratory, Churchill played a pivotal role in key wartime decisions, from forging alliances with the United States and the Soviet Union to planning the D-Day invasion of Normandy. His diplomacy and tenacity pushed the Allies closer to victory, even as they faced immense obstacles. However, Churchill's decisions were not without controversy. Some criticized his hardline policies, including his handling of colonial issues during the war years. By the war's end, Churchill had secured his place as a figure of hope and defiance, synonymous with Britain's survival and eventual victory against seemingly insurmountable odds. Despite his wartime triumph, Churchill faced an unexpected defeat in the 1945 general elections. The British public, eager for post-war reconstruction, voted for the Labour Party's promise of social reform. Though wounded by this loss, Churchill did not retreat from public life. In 1946, during a visit to the United States, he delivered his famous Iron Curtain speech in Fulton, Missouri. Churchill described the growing divide between the Soviet-controlled East and the democratic West, coining a term that would define the Cold War. The speech highlighted his uncanny ability to see the fault lines of conflict before they emerged. Churchill returned to power as Prime Minister in 1951, though his second term was less innovative and more restrained. Aging and in worsening health, Churchill's focus turned increasingly toward securing peace in a post-war world. He became a passionate advocate for European unity and the prevention of another global conflict. Churchill's personality was as remarkable as his achievements. He possessed an unyielding confidence, intellectual brilliance, and a larger-than-life presence that earned both admiration and criticism. His wit, oratory skill, and determination to succeed often inspired those around him, but his stubbornness and quick temper also alienated many. Churchill's love for cigars, fine food, and drink added to his eccentric yet endearing image. Yet beneath the public persona was a man of contradictions. Churchill struggled with depressive episodes, which he referred to as his black dog, showing a vulnerable side to a leader often perceived as unflappable. Controversially, Churchill held views on race and empire that have not aged well. A staunch imperialist, he believed in the superiority of Western civilization and often made statements that reflected racial prejudices. His resistance to Indian independence and policies during events like the Bengal famine of 1943 remain among the most criticized aspects of his career. Winston Churchill's legacy is as immense as it is multifaceted. He is widely celebrated as a wartime hero, credited with leading the free world against the Axis powers and ensuring the survival of democracy during its most perilous moments. His speeches remain a benchmark of leadership and rhetoric, and his image endures as a symbol of wartime resolve. However, Churchill's critics point to his flawed policies, particularly his actions in colonial governance, the Gallipoli crisis, and the post-war realignment. These aspects of his career reveal the complexity of his legacy, reminding us that even the greatest leaders are shaped by a combination of triumphs and failures. Today, Churchill continues to inspire leaders and historians alike. His ability to persevere through adversity, his steadfast belief in democratic values, and his profound understanding of history are key lessons for a modern world still grappling with challenges remarkably similar to those he faced. Winston Churchill was far more than just a man of his time. He was a soldier, a politician, a writer, an orator, and above all, a symbol of resilience. From his aristocratic birth to the triumphs and tribulations of an extraordinary career, Churchill's life reflects the power of grit, conviction, and the ability to rise after every fall. Yet, Churchill was no flawless hero. He was a product of his era, carrying with him the prejudices, ideals, and contradictions of his time. History remembers him for his immense contributions, but his controversies remind us to view leaders with a critical eye. As we examine Churchill's life, we are left with a leader who not only shaped history, but was also shaped by it. His story invites us to reflect on the challenges of leadership, the weight of flaws, and the enduring importance of resilience in the face of adversity. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Winston Churchill's extraordinary life. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more captivating stories from history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next adventure.